let's get back to our 2013 Year in Review podcast. We are in September now.
Yay!
I thought you meant like that's how long it's going to take for this to come out.
No. Well, at the rate we're going, it might. But
Yeah, we should have next year as well.
It'd still be end of the year
Flappy-
podcast if we
let's
put this
talk
at the
talk
end,
about Flappy Bird.
end of this year.
Welcome
That
to
didn't
Flappy
come out
Bird,
in
the
September. That
the
came out in
podcast.
August.
Well, I'll edit it into the video that's already on YouTube. Flappy Bird is a game. No, let's.
We're not actually going to talk about Flappy Bird? You fucker. I was really excited
out.
to get your thoughts on it.
Fuck this.
I'm
Flappy
missing
Bird.
The Walking Dead
Okay.
for this, and we're not even talking about Flappy Bird.
You want me to talk about Flappy Bird? Here it is. Here's my 2 cents on freaking Flappy Bird. Flappy Bird is the laziest, most monotonous, cheap game I have ever played in my life, and in a way, it's actually kind of genius. There you go. That's Flappy Bird.
Didn't the guy make it just as a personal project and never intended for it to, be big?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
Why
took it
not
off.
put it on
You
App
can't-
Store with
you can't even
ads?
play it.
Okay. The game's so good, nobody can play it anymore.
Well, if you can, but if you can't download it now if you don't already have it. So
Yeah.
It's going to be passed around on USB drives on the black market.
Yeah. Like Tiger handheld.
bad game, but I can't stop playing. So there you go. That's Flappy Bird.
Somehow less
Anyway, let's move on.
complex than Tiger handhelds.
I have quite a bit to say about Flappy Bird. I actually did have quite to say about Flappy Bird. Flappy Bird. Flappy Bird. Flappy Bird.
Of course you have quite a bit to say about it, because we're never actually going to finish this fucking year. So, go ahead.
Just keep adding more games to it.
Jeez.
Well, let's hear
Are
it.
you gonna talk? Are you gonna talk
okay.
about Flappy Bird? Not.
This game sort of came out of nowhere. I was saying before we started the podcast that it was one day where I lived in a world without Flappy Bird, and the next day it was just a huge phenomenon.
Yeah.
I think it is definitely because of PewDiePie's stupid little video on it, and then because PewDiePie is actually the most subscribed YouTube channel, ever.
That makes me sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every
it
time you say that, somebody gets cancer.
I better stop saying that. Oh no. It's the true facts though, and it definitely helped popularize this really really simple little app game that has no substance. There is no end. There's no ending. There's no story. You just literally go in and tap. That is the only function.
It's like an Atari game.
Yeah, I
that's
mean
exactly-
that's the point of it, though. It's just a time kill while you're in the dentist's office. It's basically that one mini game in Royal Land 4 where you're on the tire with the cacti.
For a second, I was like, "Who's Dennis, and why are you in his office?"
Yeah, I'm in the dentist's office.
It's
Yeesh.
My Chicago's coming up.
barely even qualifies as a game. It's just
I gotta
it's not
go to the
good,
dentist.
It's a time waster. That's all.
but It's not good, but at the same time, I can't stop playing it.
Personally, I don't throw a fit of rage when because the game's really difficult. A lot of people are tossing their phones and shit like that, breaking their iPads and stuff. But I think it's
that's-
absolutely stupid. Why would
Well,
you?
no, you should never.
Silly.
You should never get
It's
that
a game
angry.
that
at
got
the game.
popularized by PewDiePie, so there's got to be something.
anyone-
to
If anyone is breaking their stuff over this game, they deserve to have their stuff broken.
Pretty much, yes.
But personally, I think there's nothing wrong with this game. Again, if you can call it a game, it's just like a Flash game on Helicopter, just on a website, and it has maybe an ad at the bottom or on the side there. And that's how he gets his ad money, ad revenue. So.
Spoilers, all iOS games are Flash games.
Well, this game doesn't have any in-app purchases. It is purely just the game.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing to the game.
But he's still stuck an ad on though.
Yeah.
Especially not anymore.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing to the game.
ugh, one of the worst, most addicting games I've ever played in my life. Game of the year 2013.
It's addicting
The real
of like the sort of social aspect to it, where like you'll want to try and beat your friend's high score on it or
Because
something.
that's it. That's
Yeah.
all there is.
I'm sorry, Dunn, but we've spent 5 minutes on Flappy Bird, and I'm gonna ring my buzzer.
and I'm disgusted.
I'm gonna hit the gong on the Gong Show.
Gonna hit the wrap it up box.
And
Wrap it up, B.
Flappy Bird.
Game of the year.
R.I.P.
So you're just gonna ignore that gong?
yeah,
No, that's just my final thought. That was my
Slime
final thought.
buzzer.
Flappy, not a good game.
Great, glad
Alright.
we brought it up.
Okay.
Yep, don't buy it.
You can't.
You can't.
Josh swoops in for the final.
You couldn't buy it even when it was still on the App Store. It was free.
I didn't know it was free.
Yeah.
Anyway, God, moving on to what we were really supposed to talk about. Instead, we talked about fucking Flappy Bird for 6 minutes.
It was your idea.
Yeah.
It was entirely my fault. I didn't want to actually talk about it. Ricky
Okay.
made the joke. Anyway,
Yeah, under the bus. Thanks. You feel free to blame me for us 5 minutes on Flappy Bird. Got to make sure we know whose fault
pretty good
it really
anywhere.
is, folks.
Okay, it's Ricky's fault.
Okay.
All right. Talk about fucking September. Yeah.
bro, there's a Tale of Two Sons is the first game on our list. Jesus.
Isn't that the one with Ellen Page?
No,
No.
that's
Beyond.
That's Two Souls.
Beyond Two Souls.
In the time that it has taken us to record the two parts of this podcast, I have played others since
Oh my god.
Nice.
before today, or after the last podcast I hadn't actually played it. And I actually like this game a lot. I think it is, of all the like artsy fartsy indie games that came out this year, I think it's my favorite. It's
It's
the
a
one.
puzzle game, isn't it?
It's definitely the one that's
Not
the most.
really.
It's
It's got like you like push levers and stuff, but they're not puzzles. Like, there's no like trick to them. You just do it. It's
Well,
like push this block forward, and you just do it, and that's the puzzle.
It's just got a unique control setup because you control. It's basically a single-player co-op game. You control both brothers, one with each stick. So you control Big Brother with the.
Oh, neat.
But I haven't played the game, but from everything I've heard, it's mostly good things. Most people seem to really like it. But it sounds to me like the control scheme of the Animal Crossing game from Nintendo Land with like gameplay and like level design of Cookie and Cream, but with one player instead of two players. Would that be inaccurate? Well, nobody's played Cookie and Cream, but
Nobody knows.
but yeah, I mean, just those two things together sound great. Like I really want to check it out. I just haven't got around to it yet.
Yeah, it's
Enough of a giant backlog right now.
it's really good. There's a lot to like about it. There's a lot of personality, despite the fact that nobody talks except with like weird gibberish.
Like Simlish, yeah.
Yeah, like you can interact with all these different like characters along your adventure, and each of the two brothers like interacts with them differently. There's a lot of really nice small things in this game. Yeah, that give it a lot of character. And even though it took me forever to get used to the control style, in fact, I don't know if I ever did. It's good. It's very very emotional, very artsy.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was the point.
It's short.
Somewhat. I mean, I know they didn't design this game with that control scheme and not think that people wouldn't get tripped, you know. So I'm sure that had to be intentional on some level.
What's with the control scheme? Is it like Cookie?
It's just
It's one. The left stick is the small brother, and the right stick. Okay.
It's Big Brother on the left, Little Brother on the right.
yeah.
Yeah. So like each stick controls one brother, but like if the brothers are on the opposite side of the screen that the stick is, then it's easy to like confuse
Yeah,
yourself.
I would like whenever Little Brother was on the left, I would just run into a wall because my mind automatically thinks like he's being controlled by the left stick, but no, it's Big Brother who's being controlled by the left stick. So it gets confusing if you let it.
But I'm trying to say like I'm sure that had to have been intentional. Like
Yeah,
you
probably
can't
wanted to
conceptually design this game and as it is without confusing people. So.
Is that it? You don't press any buttons?
There's like one button each.
No, you'll a button when you need to press a button.
Yeah,
But it's
the do button.
So could
Yeah.
you play this game with 2 people using halves of the controller?
I wouldn't
I guess.
recommend.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sure
Well,
that you
because-
certainly could, but A, that's not the point of like the game. But at B, personally, I hate sharing a controller with someone that way. Because here's why. Because the left half of the controller is designed to be held with your left hand, and the right half is designed to be held with your right hand. So if you're sharing it, you have to like reach over your body. You understand what I'm saying? Because the person on the left who's using the left stick has to use their left hand, so they have to move their left hand to their right side, and it's just awkward. It's not.
What if you sit on the opposite ends and then just cross your arms?
That's just even
What
more
a
annoying.
gameplay is that?
Brothers, a tale of logistics.
Excuse me.
It's not a game that's meant to be played by 2 people. It's supposed to
Okay.
be played by yourself. It's a single-player co-op game. Jeez.
Alright.
And it's really good. Of all the artsy and indie games, it's probably the most one that actually resembles a game.
Huh.
There's that.
That's an indie game? Indie game?
Yeah.
Well, of all the like artsy indie games, like compared to like Proteus or Gone Home, like there's actual like puzzle solving and things to it. Like there's, like Phil said, they're not very complicated puzzles. That's because I assume you to see the game through, whether you're
Yeah. It's like
good
like
at
4
video
hours.
games or bad at video games. They want to see their game, which is fine. I totally support that. It's the same thing with like Journey. They made that easy so that you can get to the end. But like there's actual like puzzle solving elements. There's like boss fights and stuff.
Yeah.
Sort of. It's the most. It's definitely an artsy fartsy indie game, but it's the most.
Yeah,
that's an
it's a
actual.
game. It's an
It's the
actual-
closest to being an actual game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's scarce praise, but I still
Well,
yeah. Sounds good.
I don't mean that in a bad way towards the other ones. I'm just saying like.
Sure, I know.
A lot of people's definition of a game is. I think they're all games, but whatever. Point is, Brothers is good. Play it. Jeez.
Okay. Alright.
Takes like
next.
2.5 hours flat.
Is Flappy Bird a game?
Leave.
Rayman Legends.
Yeah.
I didn't play it.
It upsets me that we didn't talk about this game in February, but
Yeah.
you know, what are you gonna do? Came out in September, and I bought it on day one on Amazon. I loved it. I think it's definitely better than New Super Mario Bros. U. I might possibly also like it better than Super Mario 3D World. I'm not completely sure, but it's
What?
absolutely fantastic. I
Wow.
love the art. The art style is great. The level design is phenomenal. And it does, even though there's a couple of hiccups like that I'll explain in a minute, I think it does a phenomenal job. Of any of the Wii U games that I've played, I think this one makes the best case for the gamepad, which is why I think that the Wii U version is the definitive version, even though it came out on multiple consoles.
And why it's such a shame that it took so long for it to come out.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah.
saying that, I wouldn't have bought the game had it come out before they released the challenge app for free.
Oh, well, that's interesting. The Challenges app is definitely, I mean, it's just a feature of the game, but like when they delayed it, they released the Challenges app as like a consolation demo. Like, sorry, we're delaying it, basically.
Yeah.
And that was what convinced you to buy the game?
Yeah, definitely. I was just totally hooked on that part. Even though the actual game isn't so much like that, because the challenge mode is more like an infinite runner or like a time trial of a very specific short level.
Yeah.
And the actual game's more about like collecting doodads and stuff.
Yeah. It's a more straightforward platformer, but the challenges, there's daily and weekly challenges, both come in like regular and hard. And the hard version is not the same challenge, but like tougher. It's like a completely different, harder challenge.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's like infinite content. I don't know how long they're gonna keep doing that. I've probably stopped already. But
yeah, well, I'm not sure if they even like need to do it because it's procedurally generated. Like you'll notice like certain things looping. So
yeah.
it shut down the servers, I guess.
It kind of takes chunks of like stages from the main game and like
Yeah.
twists them.
Repurposes
Yeah,
them.
that is a lot of fun though. I forgot to mention that straight up as like one of the features of the game. But yeah, there's loads of fun to be had with just like trying to beat your score, trying to beat your friends' scores, and you see like their Mario Kart ghosts, you know, like doing the challenge, and like, oh, they came up with a cool shortcut here. I'm going to steal that, you know. Really, really great fun. Just one of the most fun experiences I've had on the Wii U. I'm not 100% confident saying it's better than 3D World, but it says a lot that I'm, torn on that. It's really, really, really. The thing that I was going to talk about with the that the gamepad it's kind of on is that like the game has sort of a mixed, like it's really good in single player or multiplayer, but there's a lot of like the music levels that everybody saw from the trailers.
Yeah.
Those are awesome, but it's kind of like any more players than single player on those is kind of superfluous because everybody has to like keep an exact time with the music.
Yeah.
So those are mostly a decidedly single player experience. But then you have like the Murphy levels, which are great and show off the gamepad in fantastic, very creative ways. But they're really designed for multiplayer because like if you're doing it single player, you have like an AI partner who's sometimes not the smartest and sometimes just refuses to go after bums. So it's got kind of this like identity crisis where there's some levels that are really meant to be played by yourself, and there are other levels that are really meant to be played with other people. And I don't think that's a flaw, but it is something to keep in mind. It's just sort of a little mark against it. But I absolutely, if you have a Wii U and you don't have Rayman Legends, what are you doing with yourself? Pick it up. It's great.
And
What am I
for
doing with
people who
myself?
don't have a Wii
Shots
U,
fired.
then get a Wii U and get that game.
You don't have one?
Get on Vita,
Most-
I guess.
Most people.
Even though that game is multi-platform, get a Wii U.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
the best version?
Why not?
Yeah, like I said at the beginning, I think that's the definitive version.
Yeah.
Have you played the other version?
No, but the gamepad stuff.
Yeah.
So
It's all about the gamepad.
I'm just kidding. I believe you.
I heard it's a little bit buggy on the other systems.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was made for the Wii U.
Oh, something I also completely forgot to mention is that, like, not all of them, I don't think, but a huge number of levels from Rayman Origins are included in it.
Yeah.
And that is a really cool... Personally, I never played Rayman Origins. I always really wanted to, and I played, like, the demos and stuff for it, but I just never picked it up. So that was kind of a cool way to, like, enjoy that vicariously. And I think that it also unintentionally highlighted that the level designs in Legends are even better, and they're just even more creative and more fun. So,
Go them.
yeah, I
Okay.
think it's a terrific experience. Everybody should play Rayman Legends.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Yep.
Thanks, Josh.
Too bad. I bet they won't make another one.
Yeah, it probably sold like butt.
Yeah. Did.
Maybe it would have sold better if they released it.
They
Anyway.
delayed it because they didn't think it was going to sell well enough.
Yeah.
I know.
So even they knew that the Wii U wasn't selling.
Yeah. R.I.P.
They're part of the problem. Fucking the drought was because of Rayman Legends.
Oh yeah, Rayman Legends was the game that would save the Wii U if only it came out in February.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have saved it, but I think there's got to be at least a handful of people out there who would have bought a Wii U in February if there were more games available for it.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
I mean, it ain't Halo. Those 5 people probably bought it anyway.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a system seller.
Right.
It's really good, though.
Yeah.
There aren't any system sellers on the Wii U.
Clearly.
No.
Next.
Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix. Dribble, grabble, gribble. Hyphen. I don't know.
You got the whole title the first time. Like you didn't.
David, come on.
Dribble Drabble.
HD 1.5 Remix is the most straightforward Kingdom Hearts title we've had this year.
Pretty much.
I know.
In years.
My brain just automatically keeps making up words to add to the end of Kingdom Hearts games. I don't know.
It's Kingdom Hearts, but it's an HD. You
What's
like
the
Kingdom Hearts?
0.5?
Because it has
Final
data
Mix.
memories and
And because
That-
it's fine.
And cutscenes.
scenes from 358 over 2 days.
Or whatever.
They add more original characters to the story.
Yeah. Is that the one that I'm in?
Oh,
Yeah.
also, Kingdom
No.
Hearts 1 is the final mix version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we
Which
didn't
is
get
the
in America.
first. Yeah, that's the first time that it's been in English. Like, I mean, the game, the cutscenes were already in English in Japan Final Mix, but like the menus and all the extra new items and stuff were not translated before until now. And something that Josh didn't know, and that I didn't know either, but that Josh was like really weirded out about, is that in Final Mix, all the enemies are like different colors.
Yeah.
It's just kind of odd. Yeah.
Like, the soldier is like blue in the original, and in this one he's like a greenish.
Why did they do that?
Just
to be final
make
mix.
to make it
HD.
different.
To be
Yeah.
Japan.
No, I
Yeah,
mean Final
it was,
Mix on
it
the
was
PS2
never
in
blue to begin
Japan.
with. It was the HD really brought out the colors. It was never actually.
Reminds me of that old Cartoon Network commercial where they would have the Q&A for Cartoon Network cartoons, and one of them was,
the
"Why are the
Smurfs?
Smurfs blue?"
Oh,
He's like,
God.
"We're not. We're just your TV."
Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
Kingdom Hearts
So, yeah.
Final Mix isn't like it's not too much different from the original version of Kingdom Hearts. They have like a couple keyblades and a couple fights and stuff like that. But well, for the most part, it's the same.
Well, the U.S. version of Kingdom Hearts, the original one, had extra bosses that Japan didn't, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then they got them in Final Mix. So Kingdom
And then
Hearts.
they got more.
Oh yeah, Kingdom Hearts 1, like the Final Mix, isn't as extravagant as like Kingdom Hearts 2 and Birth by Sleep, which we are getting later this year. The
Yeah.
Final Mix on the HD 2.5 remix. So
Yeah.
Thank God.
hey, I look forward to that one more than I look forward to this one because it's got my
I
two
do
favorites
too.
on there.
Well, I think Kingdom Hearts 2 and Birth by Sleep are both much better games than Kingdom Hearts 1, but also, like Matt just said, their Final Mixes had more extra stuff in them than Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix did.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. Kingdom Hearts kind of lost me after the first game, so
I wish it would have lost me. I would have saved myself.
I played
A
the
couple
second
headaches.
one and it was all right, but
the second one's so much better. The story
I really like the
is
second
barely there, and who cares about it? But like the gameplay in it is so much more fun. Like going back and playing Kingdom Hearts 1 is booty today. It hasn't aged.
Even in HD 1.5?
I haven't played it, but I doubt it's that much better.
The
It's
platform
still got fucking hippo
Yeah.
platforming and mushroom
yeah,
platforming.
that's true.
So it's got hip bone platforming.
Hippo.
Bo.
In
Oh.
Tarzan's world,
Tarzan stage.
who they can't use anymore.
Yeah, but it's still in this.
They obviously, yeah.
Yeah, there's something was put into place there. Anyway, if you like Kingdom Hearts, you probably already own the HD remix, so whatever. It's Kingdom
So
Hearts.
buy it.
Yeah,
Buy it a
that's all you
second
got-
time.
that's all you gotta
Oh,
know.
the thing that pissed me off about that was the case. They like advertised it as like an art book. Or that
No,
it
if-
came with
if
an
you-
art book, and
if
then the
you
fucking
pre-ordered
case
it-
is the art book.
Yeah, if you pre-ordered it, you were supposed to get an art book, but like the game case itself is the art book,
Mhm.
and it's only got like 4 pages. And
Yeah.
I was kind of disappointed by that too because I also
That's
pre-ordered it
dumb.
thinking I would get a super cool art book, and while it is cool, it's not what I expected.
Yeah,
So-
it has the game in the back, so if you want it as just an art book, you're kind of fucked.
In a world where America doesn't get any cool pre-order bonuses, I thought maybe I was going to get a cool pre-order bonus, and instead I got disappointment. So, welcome to Kingdom Hearts.
That sounds
only,
like my Kingdom Hearts experience.
The only pre-order bonus that was actually cool that I've managed to get, and I've gotten quite a few. Like I got the 3D World, not 3D World, 3D Land, little keychain from GameStop.
Keychain?
Also the
Yeah, I
art
got
book
that too.
for Fire Emblem Awakening. Even though I think that was even worse than the art book for Kingdom Hearts. But the
Well,
best one so far that I've gotten is the Scribblenauts hat, the Rooster hat.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the best one.
Didn't they do several of those?
Yes,
Yeah,
but
for
that
each
doesn't
of the
change
games.
it. It doesn't change the fact that it's the best one.
No, it's awesome, but I only got the one from like the first Scribblenauts game.
It's good. It's good.
I have cat ears from Mario 3D Land.
Yeah, but you didn't
Nice.
pre-order the game, jerk. Anyway,
I don't even have a Wii U.
From 3D World, you mean? Alright, I guess we should move on to, what's next on the list? Puppeteer?
Tear.
Puppeteer. I'm probably the only one that played it.
I think you are.
I'll be brief with Puppeteer. Of all the games that I played last year, admittedly I didn't play too many, but I think Puppeteer is the most overlooked because it is really, really, really good. It's a side-scrolling platforming game for the PlayStation 3. It's exclusive. I believe it was developed by the same team that made my favorite Tokyo Jungle. So that's cool. It's just this really, really cute, really creative side-scroller where you play as this boy who is turned into a puppet, and the whole gimmick is he has these magic scissors which you use to cut through like fabric and stuff, which makes up the world. The world is set on a stage. It's like a stage show, and the backgrounds keep coming forward and forward the more you move along. So it's like you're always on the same plane, but it's constantly changing. So it's got a really cool visual style, and it looks really cool. And you get these different heads along the way, which are used to unlock different areas of the game, like to get to bonus stages and stuff. Like you'll get a head which is like a hamburger, and you use it in like the chef area, and like
Dynamite
something
Heady?
in the back, sort of, but good. So like, it's
Okay.
it's hard to explain, but it's
That's
the
a
head.
quote for the box. Well, not that there is one, but you know,
Well,
like Dynamite Heady, but good. Man, wow.
there's a box for
2014.
Puppeteer. There's a box
Is
for
there?
Puppeteer. It was released physical.
Oh, okay. Well, all right.
That's
thought
why I
it was
think.
a-
Yeah.
I thought it was
It probably was better suited as a download game. I think more people might have. I mean, you can download it, but it was released physical for like $30, and nobody bought it. But I think it's really good. I think it's one of the best games for the PlayStation 3. I think it was really overlooked. If you like side-scrolling, like adventure games with a lot of charm, I think you would enjoy Puppeteer. That's really all I have to say about it. Just it's good. Nobody played it. And
You
that makes me
said that
sad.
it was made by the Tokyo Jungle team, which is Japan studio.
I believe so. could be wrong.
They're actually a lot more known for their other stuff like Shadow of the Colossus, Ico, Loco and Patapone. Those games. So, if you guys like those games, check them out.
Yeah, they did make it.
Yeah. So yeah, and I fucking love the shit out of Tokyo
Along with
Jungle.
Knack.
Oh, good. Well, Puppeteer is better than Knack.
Uh-huh.
I didn't play Knack, but I know the Puppeteer is better than Knack. If you have a PlayStation 3 and you really want a game that you can get on the cheap that's really good, and you have an open mind, play Puppeteer. It's good stuff.
You can become a real boy.
Yes, well, he was already a real
He
boy.
was a real boy.
And you were waiting so long,
He was
I
a
was.
Pinocchio.
and it paid off. Well done.
He's the Benjamin Button of Pinocchio.
Stop. Okay.
I
We're,
don't
mov-
get
we're,
that
mov-
reference.
we're moving
It's
on.
the same
We're
thing
moving
in reverse. There. Go on. What's
We're
next?
moving on. The next game was a late addition to the list because I guess Jess played it.
Yes.
What was it? I
Amnesia-
forgot.
Finally, I played it.
Ha 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 ha.
Let's all move.
Probably shouldn't laugh anymore.
Sorry.
I was laughing at your
Amnesia,
joke,
Machine
Ricky.
for Pigs. Oh my god.
Thanks. I'm glad you did because nobody else did.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jess.
Oh man. Well, I like this game a lot. But in terms of like being a horror game, it was just okay. I don't necessarily regret paying the price I did for it, but I do wish I had waited a little longer. The Dark Descent, which came before it, was much more interactive. You had an inventory which showed you your health and your character's sanity. Because if your character's sanity went down too low, you were in serious trouble. And that's all gone in a Machine for Pigs. Your character is not in danger of losing their sanity. There's not as much interactivity. You're given an unlimited light source, whereas in the Dark Descent you were given a lantern that would go out if used too often. And because of that, you would like hoard tinderboxes to light any candles or torches on your way if you were low on or just plain out of oil. In A Machine for Pigs, the light source only flickers if you come across one of the monsters. It doesn't actually go out. And the monsters themselves are few and far between, so most of the areas in the game are not that dangerous or even that scary because of that. They also don't hurt you as badly in the Monsters of the Dark Descent, so you have plenty of chances to get away as well. So it felt like more bark than bite in comparison to its predecessor. The story was pretty good, and the atmosphere got to me a lot, but as a game, it was just okay.
Interesting.
So,
What did the machine for pigs do? Did it like feed him? Feed
oh
pigs?
gosh, I don't see the story. That part of the story kind of went over my head. I will admit that, but
Was it a
but the
reference
story
to
was
Animal
this
Farm?
guy. The story was this guy who turns out, spoilers, to be your player character, wanted to cleanse the world, and this machine, which actually was fed humans as well as pigs and transformed them into these monsters, was his way of doing that. It's pretty fucked up. It's a really disturbing
How many
story.
games are going to do that twist?
Well, yeah, the old machine that feeds humans twist.
Not that one, although that couldn't be. I should have just stuck with that because that would have been funny.
Although that is the plot to Mass Effect 2.
I'm talking about. I'm talking about the twist that you're actually the bad guy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. Just the way the story goes is that he apparently was had this split personality and used one of the artifacts from the previous game, which is why it's an indirect sequel, I suppose, to transfer that part of himself to keep the machine running pretty much permanently, I believe. And the other part of him, which is the part that you're playing, is completely opposed to the idea. So you have to shut the machine down. That's the story, basically. You're shutting down what you've created.
Shit's whack.
The details are pretty interesting and pretty gruesome. The monsters themselves are actually really disgusting in terms of their design, but they're hardly as intimidating as the grunts and the brutes in the Dark Descent. In the Dark Descent, I actually felt hunted. The slightest sound, if I even thought I heard something growling, I would either hide or sprint like mad in the other direction. So, not so much in A Machine for Pigs. Still a good game. I still recommend it, but I do recommend waiting until it goes down in price.
It definitely, from what you're saying, sounds like the original was better. So.
Oh, the original was much, much better. And the Opera series that came before Amnesia was also better. But those, I guess, were more puzzle-based than they were horror-based. But I recommend checking out the original first. And if you want to buy this one, go for it, like I said, but don't expect it to be like its predecessor at all.
Fair enough.
So I guess that's really all I have to say about A Machine for Pigs.
Cool. Thanks, Jess.
Thank you.
All right.
You did a good
What's
job
next on the list?
articulating.
Next is a very big game from last year. In
Oh.
fact, maybe the biggest that I didn't play, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people in this call actually didn't play.
Yeah,
Grand Theft Auto 5.
We have at least a couple
Yeah, I
people
didn't
who
play
did,
that
though.
one either.
I beat it in 3 days. Woo! I beat it October 4th.
Phil, did you play it?
No, I didn't play it.
Okay.
Oh, so we have one person who's played.
All right.
Oh, man.
So
All I know
basically,
about Grand Theft Auto 5 is that for one mission...
You're laughing already.
butt sex,
I
right?
know what he's gonna say. I know what he's gonna say.
I feel like it made you laugh.
Okay,
when
hang
Phil
on.
started laughing, I just I lost it.
Hang on. I want to, in case anybody didn't hear it, Josh very nonchalantly just said, "Oh, you're talking about the butt sex, right?"
Yeah.
He certainly did.
Like it's no big deal.
It's not actually butt sex. It's just doggy style.
Oh,
Oh well,
So
Oh, forget it.
Yeah.
That's not
That's
controversial
fair.
at all.
I mean, it's the '90s. Is butt sex still controversial?
I thought it was like modern day.
I appreciate that Josh actually played the game, and then Dawn immediately took over the conversation. So that's
To talk about butt sex.
far be it
Well.
from Don to pass up the chance.
Oh,
To talk about butt sex.
it was gonna be the one thing I had to say about the game, so I had to say it. But I didn't even say it because you guys made me laugh.
Josh, tell us, is Grand Theft Auto 5 as good as everybody says it is?
I think Grand Theft Auto 4 was better. Like, it had more missions and stuff. But then again, I didn't play any of the online missions. I finished the game before the online missions came out, so I don't know how
I've
much
heard
longer
they're
it would have
kind of
been.
shitty.
Yeah, I bet they are.
I've heard
Um,
they're kind of bad.
do you mind if I spoil the game for you? I mean, it's like a year.
No.
A year. It's
It-
a couple
bad.
months
It's
Like
old.
It's
4
not even
months,
remotely
but
real.
yeah.
All right.
I don't care. You know.
Basically,
I don't
at the
care.
end, they give you a sort of choice.
Are you the
You
bad
could
guy?
So you're just literally going to spoil the ending of the game.
I'll leave it
Whatever.
at that. Oh, spoilers. Move on to whatever the time this ends. Basically, you have a choice. You could either kill one of your friends or, keep both of them alive and just fuck everyone else and murder whoever was, giving you the choice in the first
That
place.
sounds like a much better
I
topic.
vote.
Yeah.
I vote
Yeah.
fuck everyone else.
You forgot to mention that you play as these 3 characters throughout the game.
Yeah, you play.
Yeah, that's what I thought was the most interesting thing about the game. It's like you play as 3 different characters. They're all kind of doing their own thing when you're not playing as them. Like,
Yeah.
whenever you're playing as one, the other character is taken over by the CPU and it's just doing whatever. Like, you can jump from different points of the city, like switching between the characters, and you might get to one character who's in the middle of gunfight because you left them alone and they decided to do whatever the hell they wanted. So
Yeah.
The
I
one
think that's a
time-
neat mechanic.
The one time I switched to the crazy guy, I forget his name, Trevor, yeah, who just wakes up in his underpants, around a ton of dead bodies.
Oh,
He wakes up in his underwear, surrounded by dead bodies, and it's like, whoa, that must have been some party last night. And just then you take control of him. And then you're like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Because he's in his underpants and boots.
From what I understand, Trevor is the favorite.
He's the fan favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
I chose to kill him at the end. Cause,
He's crazy.
he was the most fucked up character. The one mission, you just walk. This one guy's girlfriend pisses you off, so it takes out of the room and you just murder him
Yeah,
and his
it's
girlfriend.
like the guy from one of the GTA 4 expansions, right?
Maybe.
Like the biker dude. I
Gay
forget.
Tony?
Oh yeah, that was when they introduced him. You just murder the the biker guy, whatever the fuck his name was.
I can't remember his name.
The Lost Bikers or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
From the Lost and Damned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically it on that game.
Yeah.
There was one mission where you're just chasing this girl to stop her, and she thinks you're gonna murder her, but you're just trying to stop her. So you end up chasing her through an airport, and she gets sucked into the wind turbine of an airplane, and you see parts of her spill out, and it's just
It's Grand Theft Auto.
yeah. And then the best story has nothing to do with the game. It was when I went to pick up the game. A little kid, as I'm going into the GameStop, a little kid comes out with Grand Theft Auto 5 in his head.
his head.
Oh,
hands,
It's already starting.
I thought it was real.
in his hand, and says, "I finally got it!" And his mom walks out with him.
Well, if the
And
mom
he's
is okay
a
with it.
5-year-old. Yeah, and I'm like,
But there's
Okay.
literally a fucking dude fucking a girl's in her asshole, man. You want your little boy to be playing a game where that happens?
It
Now,
all
we
comes-
established.
what you gotta
It
do?
all comes back to the butt sex.
We established that it's not, in fact, that's
It's the 9.
So, you said it was worse than GTA 4.
I think GTA 4 had a better story. I mean, no one plays it for the story. They just play to murder people and stuff. But in terms of story, I think Grand Theft Auto 4's was much longer and more coherent.
Sure.
I mean, obviously this game is split between 3 people, so you're always gonna be like, all right, what the fuck am I doing with this guy again?
Yeah.
Where am I supposed to
sounds
go?
Like that would encourage you to play it multiple times, so you can see
Well, that's the thing. Like, you could even, after you beat the game, or after you beat a mission, I should say, you could go into the start menu and just pick the mission and play it again. So you don't even have to start over.
Well, all right then.
Yeah.
Did I guess that they made it that way because like you have potential to kill off some of your dudes?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and you can't get them back after that, obviously, because they're dead.
yeah.
But
How was it like as a sandbox? Because GTA 4 was like pretty lacking in comparison to like San Andreas.
I mean, it's like, full, explore wherever the fuck you want.
Sand.
It takes place in Los Santos.
Yeah, which is basically like L.A.
It's supposed
Or
to be like the
Hollywood.
biggest sandbox game, I think.
It's definitely huge. If I felt like it was a bigger world than Grand Theft Auto 4's was Liberty City. Yeah, that's. I don't really have much else to say about it except for, I forgot.
All right then.
Did it have something to
Except
do with
for-
a guy fucking a girl in their asshole?
Yes, as a matter of fact, it did. And then
As
you
all
were
great
helping
stories do.
Yeah, you were helping the paparazzi get that film. So
I see.
there you go.
Yeah.
Speaking of assholes, the Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures came out there.
Awesome.
Was.
Fuck.
Assholevania.
Fuck ass.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's one
That's
of
one of the
those.
stages. That's one
Oh,
of the
that's
stages.
great.
Yeah. I like the Angry Video Game Nerd Adventures. It's very old school. It's very difficult, but it's
Yeah, well, that's the point.
doable. I beat it, so I mean,
Yeah.
if I can
I
beat
mean,
it, you can beat it.
Yeah, you pretty much. It's trial and error gameplay.
Yeah, I think it's cool that there's just like a video game based on the Angry Video Game Nerd. Like, I just think that's awesome. So
I definitely think like of all the ones that there have been that we've seen, I think this one looks to be the best. I mean, it's certainly got the most
that's
like
official.
polish. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a very polished game. I love all the little references that they put in there.
Yeah. There's some great ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you could play as his friends, like Mike, because
Yeah. Wow.
Everybody's favorite.
Nobody likes Millhouse.
And I played it like the day it came out, and
Yeah, I watched you.
there were
And,
two interesting things. One was I found a hilarious glitch where I was like floating in midair and the game crashed. And the second was that some representative from Screw Attack joined
Yeah,
the stream.
stuttering. Craig.
Yeah, or Handsome Tom, whichever one's still in.
Handsome
do?
Tom is not still.
It was Craig. We
Okay.
established. Yeah.
Starring Dave, got it.
What did
Starring
they do?
Dave. Yeah, he like popped in and just said, "Hey, like, I hope you're enjoying the game." You know, I'm sure he was just going around to everybody who was streaming it
Yeah,
that day.
sure.
But I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah,
It was cool.
It's a neat little classic style video game, and I would expect nothing less from the Angry Video Game Nerd. Like, if it was a video game, it should be a side scroll,
yeah.
hard as balls
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
video game, and it's good. The references are great. The gameplay is good. Sprites are hit or miss. The music is really good. I think the music is
The music's kick-ass.
yeah. But as a whole, it's a good game. It's really good.
Yeah.
Starring Craig's a pretty cool guy. There you go.
Ass.
But in a good way.
Speaking of ass,
No.
Can't use that same segue.
Speaking of
giant
segues, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker.
Yeah. Rounding out September is The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD for the Wii U. I'm not gonna
1.5
Talk-
dream drop
yeah.
distance.
not gonna talk too long on this one because it's Wind Waker. Everybody's played Wind Waker. Everybody already knows that I fucking love Wind Waker,
Yeah, it's your favorite
and
game.
it's still just as no. It's my favorite Zelda game. It's in my top 5 favorite games. It's still just as good as it always has been, and I think some of the things that they've changed about it actually make it better. So this is definitely the definitive version. The fast sail is definitely helpful. Those who don't like the sailing think it's slow. I've never had a problem with the sailing myself. I could see why somebody would,
Yeah.
but I think when we has like the best sense of adventure of any Zelda game because of the ocean. But the fast sail definitely makes it easier to get around, and you can get it fairly early in the game. Just beat the first dungeon and then go get it at the auction house. It's very simple. And then the monotonous Triforce fetch quest has been made to be more fun.
Like half of the Triforces are just gettable in a treasure chest instead of...
Yeah, you only need to get 3 charts. And even... You only need to get 3 charts deciphered from Tingle, and the other ones you can just go get once you get the main chart, which shows you where all 8 of them are, and you can stumble upon them on your own. They're all hidden in different islands. One of them you have to go through that, like, I don't know what they call it, but it's like the Pit of 100 Trials, where you like just fight a bunch of enemies on Outset Island. There's one in there, and it's just I think they handled it much better. It was less of a drag.
So if you're someone like me who wasn't super impressed with Wind Waker's gameplay, would you say give it another shot?
No, I think you should definitely give it a shot on the Wii.
All right.
Wind Waker is, again, it's my favorite Zelda game. It's one of the best games I've ever played. And this is the version to play. I think it's fantastic stuff.
I think I played the GameCube. Wind Waker is my favorite game. I haven't played HD, but I think like the GameCube, like that cel shaded style is sort of like timeless graphically.
Yeah.
Do you think the HD makes it better or worse?
I think it looks really good in HD. Like I definitely think it looks good. That said, though, I think that it'll age quicker, the HD version.
Really?
Like just the bloom and everything. I think it'll eventually become a product of its time. I think it'll still look good years from now, like even the HD version. But I think
as the GameCube version still looks good. It's
but
the
I think
design that makes, and the style of the game that makes it still look good.
Yeah, but there's definitely more noticeable like problems. Like sometimes there'll be like this eerie glow around the characters just at random. Not normally not Link, but some of the like NPCs, like they'll step into the light at a weird angle and there'll just be this glow around them, and it's very strange. And I never came across that in the original. And the original has such a timeless art style. It's held up better than Twilight Princess.
Again, my
Art style wise.
Yeah.
For me, anyway. So I could definitely see it not looking as good as the original, but it's very, very pretty, and it always will be. So,
All right.
Yeah.
I love
It's my second favorite Zelda game, and I played it too, and I fucking love the Tingle Bottle.
Oh yeah, I was going to say that.
That's a neat feature, I guess. Except every single one I ever ran into was useless.
What's the Tingle
Well,
Bottle?
yeah, no one's playing it
It's a
much.
euphemism.
I thought it might be.
It's
No,
like
the Tingle Bottle
Miiverse integrated into Wind Waker. Like pretty much, like you'll have, like you can send out a bottle with like a Miiverse drawing on it and stuff like that, and then it'll appear in some random other dude's game, and they can pick it up and take a look at it.
Well, that's funny. So you open it up and there's like a picture of a penis.
Yeah.
No, it's got to be screenshots from in the game. I mean, I guess you could draw your own shit, but
Oh really? I thought you could draw
I
stuff.
I think you could, but it's monitored, isn't it? There's not gonna let you.
Yeah,
see
you
that.
can't have like penises in the Miiverse.
Nintendo going full TSA and just looking at all the pictures that you sent
Yeah,
out.
it's interesting, I guess. I think my
And
favorite
that's it.
thing. I think actually my favorite thing that they added to the game is that you can hold 12 spots in the Picto Box now, making
Yeah.
it much easier to complete the figurine side quest.
Wasn't it only like 3 before?
Yeah.
Yep.
And doesn't it
Yeah.
tell you straight away if the picture's good or not?
Yeah, it tells you if it's good
Oh,
or
that's
not,
nice.
which is great because my first time through Wind Waker, I screwed up on taking a picture of Goma both times I fought him, so that sucked.
Sure,
now I
asked this before. Did they fix the one random dude who just disappears?
No, he still disappears.
Oh, great. Oh, thank God.
Yeah, he still disappears. This game was only in development for 6 months. Cut it some slack.
Oh yeah, 6 months. How much was it? How much did it cost? $60?
Yeah.
$60. It's
Fucking
overpriced.
£50, man.
It is way overpriced because
It's a GameCube game.
other companies are releasing releasing 3 HD remakes at a time on a disc for like $30 on the PlayStation and the Xbox, and Nintendo's just like, well, it's Zelda.
Nintendo's like,
Yeah.
Nintendo's like, listen, we gotta make back some lost ground.
Well, they're making Wii U bundle packages for a fucking GameCube game. Like,
Yeah.
where you have like no system sellers, you have to use a GameCube game to tie into your software.
Well, let's just put that into perspective. A GameCube game.
Well,
I know that. I mean, the
3D
Wii U is just like 4 GameCube stuck together anyway.
the 3DS was bundled with an N64 game for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what their thinking was.
Nintendo's always been kind of like up their own ass about their games. Like the VC games cost too much. Like, I don't want to pay $5 for Mario Brothers. No, get out of here.
That's a
Donkey Kong
$2
Jr.
game.
Math. Leave.
That's a whole another thing for another day. But I do want to say
Yeah.
I would like a PlayStation Plus kind of service with virtual console games, or like, I guess Netflix-ish.
Yeah, that would have been that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But
I'd
Wind
like
Waker
them to have like a proper fucking online infrastructure first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just take baby steps.
baby steps.
I'd like to have some games for the Wii U.
That's right.
One thing at a time.
Yeah.
Like you said, baby steps.
Yeah.
All right,
These
let's take a break here. We're getting into the biggest month for not. I don't think it's the biggest month, but
Fantasy month?
it's definitely
Fantasy month!
It's definitely going to
It's
be
not
the
the biggest month. It's just that this month has the thing that we probably have the most to say about.
The thing.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
thing. Rogue Legacy. We'll get to that in just a moment.
Yes.
By the way, I'm still here.
I thought you were talking about Phoenix Wright.
Oh, Pixelis.
I thought you were talking about Flappy Bird.
Yeah.
So you were talking
We already
about
talked
Blood
about Flappy Bird.
Flappy Bird 2.
I'm stopping the recording.
The flappening.
We be the flapping.
I
That's
got
funny.
brain damage from that.